Hello, I'm Christine Koenig from The Anchored Approach, and today we're looking at Class 2 in a free 3-class series where I walk through what is brain profiling, what is a brain profile or an assessment, and how can it practically be used as a tool and an asset in your homeschool, and how do we practically implement the information that we get in the report after your child has completed a thinking style and learning style brain profile. So let me share quickly our slides for today. Okay, so we're going to look today at turning brain insight into daily flow. And how do we do that in our homeschool? And what does it look like? So, small disclaimer, it's only for educational purposes. This is not a diagnosis, okay? If you need to see a professional, please do consult your professional. So welcome back. In class 2, what we did was we discovered why your child resists certain learning approaches, but today we're turning that understanding into flow, practical daily flow. We're going to look at specifically how brain profiles reveal energy patterns. We're going to look at creating environments that match the brain. So it's not about, right, today and every day, 5 days a week, we're going to do math at 9 a.m. This is going to look at the power of transitions in your homeschool and building a rhythm, not a rigid schedule. So the real question I find is that you understand your child's brain profile. Now what? How do you actually use that to make your days work? Okay, so if we look at energy drains, we have student P, which we looked at in class 1. Student P is student pictures for the children who are 6 to 11 years of age, where they can't read confidently or read to comprehend on their own. So the following will drain these energy levels in these brain profiles. So it's the right-hand side brain profile, those that are more in the visionary and relational side of things. Okay, so long, detailed, focused work is so hard for them. They need short bursts. Sitting still without movement, working alone, repetitive tasks. So start your day with worksheets? No. With this child, you'll have drained them by 10 a.m. You don't start with worksheets, you start with connections. So this is what gives them fuel, this sort of brain profile. Okay, what's really needed here is that they need connection first. They need to connect with you and they need to connect with their day. Movement and conversation is what they need. Collaborative learning. They want to be together to learn. Don't give them a lesson and then make them sit on their own to do the worksheet. Sit next to them, be with them, interacting. Emotional engagement. This fills their tank and you need to do it before you go anywhere. This is a young child indicator, so it's from about 4 to 8 years old. The pattern we see here is that the right brain dominant needs short bursts of energy, movement breaks, variety, and creativity. Okay, this is not because this child is undisciplined. This is because this is how this brain will process the information that keeps coming into their world. Children are processing the information coming in all the time. Okay, so when this falls apart, okay, think about, when does your day typically crash? Is it after you've pushed against their profile for too long? So that's not a timing problem. This is a mismatch problem. Okay, so this right brain child is not going to want to go and learn how to ride a bicycle if they don't feel like you have emotionally supported them. Okay, because learning to ride a bicycle is going to be new and big and scary. So they need that connection first. They don't need a lesson first. So if we look at schedules versus rhythm, so a schedule is very strict, very rigid. It's going to fall apart by 9:30, specifically for those children that are a right brain. You want a rhythm. You want to connect first. You want to actively learning time. You want creative time. They need to know that creative time is going to come. Creative time can be the in between the little bursts of learning something. And this follows the energy of the child, not the actual clock. Okay, so rhythm example and environment here for this kind of age group is that you have a morning connection time, mid-morning discussion-based learning with movement. They can learn and they can retell the story by movement and within movement. So whilst they're sitting on the swing, they can talk to you about what happened. So in the late morning, we have hands-on projects. In the afternoon, they teach what happened in their day. Okay, so there's no time stamps, there's just a flow. Okay, so you've been told desks, quiet room, no distractions. This is what schooling needs to look like in order for learning to happen, not with the right brain profile. That works for a high L1 kid, your left-hand dominant kids, not for these brains. Okay, a quiet room alone at a desk will fight his brain or her brain. Okay, so the needs we have here are space for movement, comfortable seating, not necessarily a desk, doesn't have to be formal, and your presence nearby, and ability to talk whilst learning. Their brains often thinking of other things and gets distracted, and they need to release that and talk those thoughts out before they can carry on thinking and learning. Visual stimulation, flexibility in where they work, access to creative material space that allows mess. Creativity is messy for them, and fighting that shuts them down. Okay, traditions kill your day. You need a bridge moment. So once you finish one activity and move on to the next, suddenly there's resistance, suddenly there's tears, suddenly there's shutdown. And you think to yourself, what happened? We were just doing so well. You need a bridge moment. You need to connect the movement from one to the other. So between activities, create a 2 to 3 minutes where there's a quick movement reset. There's connection, conversation. Don't just switch tasks. You have to bridge between them. So this is what this will look like. Okay. So try and think of what does your child enjoy as an activity, or what's something new that your child hasn't tried that they will enjoy as an activity. So pogo sticks, skipping ropes, obstacle course, sit-ups, exercise ball. So if you finish reading, do 2 minutes of jumping jacks. Then discuss what's next whilst they're moving, or discuss what you have done and then move into discussing what you're going to do with them. Then you can settle into your activity. So the movement resets their brain and the discussion maintains connection whilst you're leading on to the next thing you need to do. So every battle you have is just a mismatch. So when you align with the brain, the battles will stop. So work with it, not against it. And it takes a lot of creativity. And it's not easy for a lot of parents. So that's why there is a parent teacher trainer profile, which can help with this. Okay, well, what is the parent's profile and what is the child's profile? And perhaps that's why there's a clash, because you're just so different. Okay, so if we look at an example here, if we look at maths, okay, turn the maths worksheet for the right brain dominance into a game. Make it physical and do it together. It's the same content, you're delivering it in a different way, and there is less battle and more retention. Okay, so the child will retain the information, there'll be less anxiety when it comes to learning maths, and there'll be flow. Okay, so what you need, connection rhythms, when and how, energy matched activities, transition bridges between activities, and the brain profile is what will give you all three that you need. So this is long term. So that's why I'm showing the seasons here, because in and out, your seasons will happen every single year. The child is going to be learning every single year, and you're not doing this just to get through tomorrow. You're building an approach that will work for years. It'll be sustainable, it'll be joyful, it'll be effective. And what you're actually doing is training this child to use their whole brain. So when they come into the workplace, they know how to work with different style bosses, with different style work colleagues, and how to deal with different scenarios. Sometimes they'll be working with different styled clients. So they'll be far more grounded and well-rounded in terms of using their brain. And our next steps, class 3 is going to be coming out. This is going to look at confidence and calm, removing guilt and comparison, recognizing progress, and staying anchored when things wobble, because even the most advanced or those who've been homeschooling for a long time, we even have wobble moments. All of us do. It's natural. Okay, so this is the shift that happens. Okay, why won't you just do your work? I know how to help the day flow so that the work gets done with less resistance. So I'm understanding you, and I'm going to meet you where you're at. This is where homeschooling will stop becoming a battle. So if this resonates with you, if you're sitting there thinking, I need my child's specific profile to build this, then getting your child's brain profile is the next step. It'll be working through the map for your daily system. So it's not generic. It is specific between parent and child, family scenario. So if you're thinking my brain can't function with this chaos, then you need the teacher trainer profile to map your brain and get tips on how to meet your child's needs and respect your own at the same time. So a final thought is you don't need better curriculum. You don't need to fix your child. This isn't where the child needs fixing. It's your connection that needs fixing. It needs a bit of help. So you need to build a day that honors your child's brain as well as your own, okay? And once you understand your child's brain, everything changes. It really does change. We will see you in class 3.